my hot take about first looks is that I don't think that they are for everyone.
Ignore your mom. Ignore your best friend. Definitely ignore the photographer. She sucks. but listen to me. Welcome back to another episode of the Humble Hustle Podcast. We are your hosts, Nick and Kayla.
Hello, hello.
And today we are changing things up, not going, our normal business route. We're switching things to weddings for the day. So we're going to talk about first looks and a little bit of hot takes about first looks.
Yep. If you don't know what a first look is when the couple decides to see each other privately before the ceremony to get that over with. And also, I think, honestly, most of it is to get photos done before the ceremony, right?
There's
so
a lot of logistical benefits to it, yes.
Yeah, a lot of logistical benefits. So, like, if a couple really wants to attend their cocktail hour and not spend that whole time taking photos, they usually will do a first look so that they can get a lot of those photos done before the ceremony. That way, after the ceremony, they can go and enjoy the cocktail hour.
Yeah.
But we both have a couple, I guess I have a hot take, you have a pet peeve.
Yeah.
About the first look situation. And my hot take about first looks is that I don't think that they are for everyone. And what I mean by that is specifically speaking to, I guess, a male and female couple. There are some guys out there that are very shy. And if you have, at times, 3 to 4 cameras in their face during a first look, that moment that is meant to be very intimate can turn into a moment that is very stressful for mostly the guys. I just want to be honest here.
No, you're not wrong.
Women don't really have a lot of issues like showing emotions, but some guys really do. And I've seen a lot of first looks where, maybe I've seen like crocodile tears. Like, there's so much pressure on men with these first looks, even like if you're doing a first look down the aisle, to cry. There's so much pressure. Everyone expects men to cry when they see their bride. And if it's a natural emotion, I think that's beautiful. But if you feel like you're being forced to shed tears when you see your bride, that makes my heart sad. Like, you should be allowed to have the reaction that is authentic to you. And I just think there's so much pressure on guys these days to have this big reaction and breakdown crying when they see their bride, whether it's a first look or down the aisle. And I think it's completely ridiculous. Like, I've literally heard women say, if my husband doesn't cry when I walk down the aisle, I'm turning around and doing it again. That's crazy. That is crazy behavior. So I guess my hot take with this is, please have a conversation with your partner on the wedding day and say, hey, are you more comfortable doing a first look before so we can see each other and have like a more private moment? Or would you rather just see me when I come down the aisle, like see each other at the ceremony? But I do think it should be a discussion between the two of you. And like, I've had people who want us to observe from afar. They don't want to be mic'd up. They want to read their vows privately and still make the moment private while capturing it. And then I've had other people say, like, no, I want to be mic'd up. I want to capture this moment. And both people are on board. But whatever route you go, please just be on board with each other. Make sure that you're on the same page. And please just like make sure everyone's comfortable with the situation. That's my hot take.
I've definitely heard people say stuff like that before, but to be honest, I don't really think much of it. Like, I don't know. I don't expect the bride or the groom to cry. Mm-hmm. If they do, obviously I'm going to capture it for video purposes, but like, personally, I don't care if they do or not.
Right.
Like, let them react to however they naturally would react.
Yeah. And if that's a smile, if like maybe you tear up a little bit, but I do really think that a lot of women expect men
blubbering
to fully,
tears. Like,
yeah. And I'm like, no. Like, that's too much for me. And I do think a lot of the pressure for first looks comes from wedding photographers and the fact that it helps their timeline and it helps them get the photos done faster. A lot of them, I think, will tell you that. And sure, maybe it makes the timeline a little bit smoother, but we as wedding vendors, we're working around you. We are servicing you. It's your day. Whatever you want to do, we will make it work for you. So don't let anyone tell you you should do this because it's your day. Do what the fuck you want to do. That's my opinion.
We don't necessarily tell them they should, but we do recommend it.
See, like, I don't care. I think, like, for me personally, with my fiance, I talked to him about this whole thing, and he's like, yeah, no, like, I don't want, like, we're probably going to do private vows, because he's not, like, super outwardly emotional, and he's more reserved. And I'm not going to make him spew his guts out and pour his heart out in front of a bunch of people if he's not comfortable with that. Like, I think it's really beautiful when people do nice vows at the ceremony or, you know, together. It does make the video really beautiful if you have some sort of like a narrative in there. I might actually, we want to like do it over coffee in the morning and I might like mic us up so that you can use it for the, anyway. But like, I just feel so bad for the people who are forced to do a first look when they're not necessarily fully comfortable. And then those first looks often are kind of like forced and the guy sometimes like looks uncomfortable, you know? Like, have you ever experienced that?
Maybe once or twice, but like for the most part, they're both on board. And when I say we recommend they do a first look, it's usually like we'll obviously talk to them about what they want. And it is usually like we want to go to cocktail hour. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, a good way to do that is to do this so you can get all that stuff out of the way. So after the ceremony, we won't bother you.
Yes. I totally get that. It does make that easier, but I also think, and this depends on how big your wedding party is, how big your families are, but the photographers that are really quick will get those photos done in like 25 to 30 minutes if they're really on top of it. If you have a list prepared of all of the group shots that you want to do, you can still get to the tail end of your cocktail hour if you don't do a first look.
Yeah, but they want to experience the entirety of it, not just the tail end.
If they want to experience the whole thing, that's different.
I don't know. I haven't really seen many of our grooms like super, super reserved. There's been a couple that they say it half jokingly, but it's like they still go through with everything. It's like, oh yeah, it just feels weird that, you know, it's like paparazzi following me all day. But like they still do all the actions on camera and everything. So like it's still fine. Maybe on the inside they're panicking or whatever, but on the outside they seem fine and they don't tell us that we're making them uncomfortable per se.
Yeah.
So it seems okay, but I don't think I've had any groom that's like super, super, who's been super, super like reserved and really not liked showing emotion on camera.
Yeah. I worked with a wedding couple recently who the guy was very, very shy. We didn't do vows. We didn't like record anything. They did not do a first look. And I did like really quick shots of him, like, you know, mocking, getting ready, and with some of his guys, like, you know, helping put his jacket on and the tie and everything. And then I left him alone because that's what he was comfortable with and that's what he wanted. Like, that also depends on, you know, who you hire, right? So if you're hiring like a documentary style wedding videographer, they are probably going to be there for 10 to 12 hours a day to capture like pretty much every little moment. So there are people out there who, like, I offer a 6 to 8 hour package that I will, you know, maybe people don't care about the getting ready part of the day as much and they don't want to be on camera the whole entire day. Just make sure that when you're looking for a wedding photographer or a videographer that, you know, they kind of align with that because I just really think it's important for you to work with the couple on what their wants and needs are for the day.
As I cough. But I will say, there's two things I want to say to that. One, there's been multiple times where like they say, oh, we don't want our private vows on like recorded, or we have letter readings that we don't feel like reading out loud. That's fine. But like we always tell them what our process is. Like, we will still put the mic on them when we always do at getting ready. But if they don't want, if we're like about to go in their first look, yeah, we'll at least like put it on them. So it's on them for the day. We'll just turn it off.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or maybe we'll just leave it on, but we just won't use it.
Right.
So it's like at least easy for us to just set and forget. And, honor code, we just won't use it.
Yeah.
Or like won't listen to it. But
that's good, because then if they do change their mind and they're like, actually, like, do you have that? Then you still have it,
Yeah. There was one just like a few months ago where like I didn't even put it on him. He was like, yeah, like I don't want it to be recorded. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll just put it on you right before the ceremony. That's totally fine.
Okay.
The other thing I was going to say was, like obviously weddings are like super high stress days. So like for those really either side, bride or groom, the ones that are more on the shyer side or just don't do well with all the pressure and the craziness, we try, like Sam and I are, and we've been told multiple times, because it is something we actually do put an effort into, that we are like the calming presence of the day. The photographer and all the other vendors, the maid of honor, the moms, they're all going to do what they're going to do. And like they all mean well, but like it can get crazy. And I'm able to do my job while still remaining extremely calm. So like I try to feed that calmness to them.
Yes.
And I've had multiple brides specifically tell me how much they appreciated my calmness in the situations.
Yes. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I mean, I've been to a wedding that you guys have worked together on, and I totally see that vibe. Like, that's really important, is to just make them feel comfortable. And I've been told by multiple people too that I made them feel comfortable. Like that couple that I just talked about, the bride texted me and she was like, I can't tell you how much, he appreciated that you like honored what he wanted and like weren't in his face all day.
They remembered it even like months after when I like delivered the content in their thank you email. They sent it again. I'm like, they still remember how I acted on that day. Cause there was one in particular. It was like, I was with the bride and like she was super stressed. She like never worn like a corset before. She was super uncomfortable. Mom was being crazy. Maid of honor, bridesmaids were being crazy. The photographer was being crazy. Oh, I literally said, I went up to her. It was a small room. We were all cramped. I set my camera down because I was like done with what I needed to capture. And I literally told her, forget what they're saying right now. Look at me. You're good. Just breathe and relax. I forget exactly what I said, but I literally told her to ignore everyone. Yeah. And just look at me for a second. We're good.
Yes.
And I felt kind of rude at the time. I was like, no, she needs to hear this. Yes. Like, screw them.
Exactly.
Like, literally to the mom, I'm like, ignore your mom. Ignore your best friend. Definitely ignore the photographer. She sucks. but listen to me.
No, seriously. Like, and you will kind of have to step in sometimes and do those things. Yeah. And I haven't ever had to like personally tell another vendor like
that was the most extreme I ever had to be, but I was like, this needs to be said.
Yeah, I've heard stories from other wedding vendors that they've had to, talk to the mother of the bride or talk to the mother of the groom and say, you need to leave this person alone right now. Like, you're overwhelming them.
I felt so bad. Like, one of her maid of honor was trying to get her to drink all the alcohol. Like, drink this, you'll feel better. Her mom was like, no, she needs water. And then the other one's like, oh no, here's a glass of orange juice. I'm like, guys, just stop. Yeah. Like, leave her alone.
Yep. And unfortunately, on a wedding day, you can't pick your family. So if you do have stressful family members, that's really challenging. And as wedding vendors, we observe a lot on that day. We're very attentive. And I think if you pick the right people, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to vet your vendors before you sign the contract, before you pay the deposit. Make sure that you get a vibe check and just make sure that this is the person that you want to spend all day with, because we're literally going to be with you all day long.
There's no vendor you spend more time with than the creative team.
Yeah. Except maybe a wedding planner.
I think we spend more time with them, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Because the planners are kind of like all over the place, making sure all the other vendors are good to go and everything's running smoothly. But yeah, so making sure that you vibe with your photographer, your videographer, your content creator, that is huge. That is huge. Yeah.
All right. And then I guess my pet peeve, we can call it, is so like as a videographer, I care about the audio of the first looks, you know? So when we tell our couples that, you know, especially the groom when he's waiting, just sitting there or standing there waiting for the bride to come down, we try and have a little pep talk with him, and we speak our calm voices, that whole thing. And like
the Jake Weiser voice.
No, exactly. Yeah.
I love it.
And we essentially just tell him, you know, take as long as you need, whether it's, you know, 10 seconds, 10 minutes, whatever. Do what you need to do, say what you need to say, yada, yada, yada. And then when you're done, look to us, and then we'll step in after that, not before. Like, this is their moment. And for audio purposes, it's the only, I would argue, or the most genuine moment they're going to get all day. It's like, okay, when they see each other in the ceremony, it's not as genuine because you have like 100 people staring at you. This is the first time you see each other all day, and it's more or less just the two of them alone with us. But
The paparazzi.
it's really genuine. So I want that real audio. So we tell them, you know, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to stand off to the side and record. But the photographers sometimes don't listen. When we run them through our game plan and explain this is what we're going to do, this is what we want, they just don't listen sometimes. And, you know, they'll turn around, they'll be like, oh my God, yeah. And like seconds later, the photographer just jumps in and says like, all right, now kiss her. And I'm like, dude, just let them talk. Let them do whatever. Just stop posing them. I had one, it was crazy. She literally, they were going in to kiss naturally, and she stopped them like, no, hold on. And said, you can't kiss like that. Turn your head the other way so I can get the angle. I'm like, you did not just say that.
Oh,
that is wild.
my God. I would lose my mind.
It was crazy.
That's horrible. Because you're right. That is one of the only intimate moments they're going to get all day if they're doing a first look. And for that person to step in and try to dictate how that moment goes for them is just so incredibly rude and
Totally ruined the
selfish.
vibe. I was like, well, that's over.
Oh my God, that's awful. Ugh. It just makes me sad. Like, you would think as wedding professionals, you would know that. But for some people, like, they only care about getting content and getting the pictures. And I know that you're just trying to do your job, but there's a way to do your job without being intrusive to the couple. Like, you are working for the couple. I think a lot of people forget that.
That photographer who did that, same photographer, I told her the bride to ignore because she was stressing her out.
Oh, boy.
Earlier that day, I was like, yeah, screw her. I hate her.
Wow. That's crazy.
Hate's a strong word, but I don't like her.
No, that's nuts. That is really crazy. Yeah, I just think, you know, it's a really busy day. Almost all people you talk to who have a wedding say, you know, it went by in the blink of an eye. So just let them have their moment. Let them do it the way that they want to do it.
It's really not that hard.
It's
and like
not.
for the photographers, I get it. You know, they're quote unquote in charge of making the timeline run. But who cares if we're 5 minutes late if they want to just talk? Let them talk. No, nothing's going to start without them there.
Exactly.
So like, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a bride run late to the ceremony by 30 minutes. Like, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I don't care. Like, the timeline could run 3 hours late, and personally, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I can still leave when I'm supposed to leave.
Exactly.
But like,
or they're going to pay. Yeah.
You know, event sequence wise does not bother me whatsoever.
Yeah. And shit happens. Like, there's bound to be something that goes wrong in a wedding day. Not everything is going to go exactly according to plan. But you just have to, as a wedding vendor, roll with the punches. Like, go with the flow. You know, you can have your schedule for the day. If it gets a little flip-flopped, that's okay. Just breathe. It's fine. I used to get so stressed out when I was first starting to shoot weddings. I would like study the timeline and make sure I knew exactly when everything was happening.
I'm like the complete opposite now. I don't think I've gotten stressed at a wedding in so long.
No.
I don't look at the timeline ever. Sam always tells me like, Oh yeah, he makes it for us like all nice and stuff. I'm like, dude, unless you're making it for yourself, I'm not gonna look at it.
Right.
I just show up and go with the day.
Yeah. Well, and as long as like one of you knows when key moments are happening, like, you know, ceremony starts at this time. Oh, they're doing like a special
day
dance
of,
here.
Like I'll be like, okay, just confirming like what ceremony's in like an hour. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
As long as I know roughly.
Yep.
But like, I don't think I felt stressed at a wedding in a while. Like I'm pretty chill at weddings at this point.
Yeah. I get stressed. I think the ceremony is the stressful part for me because if it's a quicker ceremony, I don't know, just like making sure I'm in the right place at the right time.
There's been times where there's times where you have more than enough time to set up all your stuff and you're just waiting for things to happen. That's great. And then there's other times where you have 60 seconds before they start walking and you're still moving tripods around. It's hustle and bustly, sure. But at least, I mean, I know where things are supposed to go. It's not the end of the world. Mm-hmm. I know we can get it done in that short amount of time. So, like, I'm never too worried.
Right.
Even when things are running super late, it's like, it's fine. It's going to take us 30 seconds to put it up. We're good.
Yep.
Or, like, setting audio. Like, it's fine. Just go, plug in. We're good.
Yep.
Ask the DJ to stall.
Yes.
I've done that a few times.
Yes,
like,
me too.
Dude, can you just, like, stall for a few seconds? You're like, yeah, sure.
Yes. Yep. No, and that's huge too. Like when you have a vendor team that understands the assignment and like will work with you on that, that's really helpful. But sometimes you won't have that and you just got to go with the flow.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's like a little rant, I guess, on first looks because I've seen a couple of them go an interesting way. And, you know, I would just hate for people to be disappointed in like a reaction that they didn't get. And I've also seen some really obviously, you know, overreacted reactions because they feel like they have to. And that makes me so sad. Like, just communicate. That's all.
Oh yeah. I've seen the ones that like don't really have big reactions. They're sometimes literally 5 seconds. They're like, turn on. Oh, cool. You look great.
Yeah.
And then look this. Okay, what's next?
Exactly.
And then I told you off the mic, I was like, I think the longest one I've had is close to like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like, they were just talking. Like, obviously I can't hear them in the moment. They're actually pretty far away for that one. They're like on a dock.
Okay, yeah,
so we were like super isolated.
I've had that too.
But then when I was listening to the audio in ending, they were literally just talking about like, oh, yeah, what'd you do this morning? Like, oh, I had a bagel for breakfast.
Yeah. I kind of love those little moments too. Those are super cute. Yeah. Okay. End rant.
End rant.
If you guys have any opinions on first looks, let us know. Leave a comment. You can catch us on YouTube and Spotify. Please rate us 5 stars and subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're posting reels on there. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.